Hi guys, it's Talisha, and today I'm doing a little bit of an update with Kai. So this is his first time being worked after his spell. So if you guys don't know who Kai is, I will just give you a little bit of a rehash over his story and how long I've had him and what he's done. So I've had Kai since he was weaned off his mum, but I've known him since he was a day old. So I've known this horse very, very well. He is now nearly 3. He's got less than a month until he turns 3. He was broken in as a 2.5-year-old after being cleared by 2 vets. And then he went through 8 weeks of professional breaking, and then he came back with me, had 2 rides, or actually not even that. He had 1 ride at home, and then I spelled him out until he had a little more growth to him. So I've brought him back. It's been a bit over 3 months of time off, and the first thing I did with him, I had done previous groundwork and stuff before doing this, but I've just got him on the lunge, and as you could have seen with the previous clips, I was just going through his gaits, well, mainly trotting to walk. I'm not focusing much on the canter at this stage, and I don't for another few rides because I just want him to be comfortable at a walk and a trot because I'm not in a rush to get him cantering and running around the place. So here I'm just trying to get him in to come... What? I'm trying to get him to come into me himself. He didn't. He took a few steps and then, stood there, so I asked him to come in a bit further, and that's when he came completely in. So now I've got him going around the other way, and I just pretty much do the same thing. I don't include too many clips because it's just repetitive, and he was good, so there was no need to include a few clips. So this is just him trotting out. I'm sorry, I'm going to mute my phone. Thank you for that. But yeah, so this is him coming in after going the second way, and he came in a lot nicer. I didn't have to ask him to come in, he just did it himself. So now we are in the round pen. Now my round pen is not huge. I do need to get more panels for it, but we make do with what we've got. So I do a few little things on the ground with him, just flapping the stirrups around, asking him to back up. I also disengaged his hindquarters and his shoulders, but that did not get filmed, unfortunately. So now I'm getting on him, just doing it really slowly. I had actually ridden him the week before this for his first ever ride, which is where I took a lot longer before getting on completely, but I didn't get that filmed because I didn't have someone to film. I had someone watching but not filming. So here I'm just getting him used to all the reins and stuff, but because I had done this with him last week, I don't spend quite as much time with it, where I wouldn't have just gotten on him and gone straight away. I would have taken my time with getting on and not swung my other leg on over straight away. But yeah, so this ride, all I wanted to do was walk him around and have him be relaxed. No other goals apart from having him relaxed. So I'm swinging my leg around just so he's used to everything. Like, obviously I don't ride with my legs swinging around, but you want your horse as quiet as possible and as ready for everything possible. So my rides on him consist of no longer than 10 minutes, and that is also including groundwork and lunging. So as soon as I start actually making him think, that is when I start, clocking it, if you will. I'm not timing it necessarily though, so it could be less than 10 minutes, sometimes it could be a little bit more, but most of the time it's around that 10-minute mark, because I am not doing this to get him strong or to get him fit. It's mainly just for him to actually think and, work out what he needs to do when he's under saddle. So all I'm doing is getting him to turn and do his circles. As you can see, he did a little bit of a hop then, so I just turn him in a tight circle and then ask him to go forward. So when he does act up, what I do straight away is turn him in a tight circle. I don't want it to lead into something where he bolts off after it or anything like that. So there, a truck just went past, so I just gave him a pat because he was a good boy with that. Now he's stretching out a little bit more. He's a lot more relaxed than he was before, and I'm just asking him to move a bit quicker. So he's just stretching out really, really nicely there, and I'm just using my leg a little bit more just to make sure he's used to it, and I asked him to trot. So he trotted out really, really nicely, really happy with this. So this is his first trot in about 4 months. So a big pat for that. And then I just did the same on the other direction. As you could see, I only did like half a circle. I'm not worried about getting him to do long sets of trots. He's been out of work, and prior to this, he's only been under saddle for no longer than 6 weeks, because the first 2 weeks of his training at the breakers was not under saddle. So he has very limited education under saddle, and I'm not worried about the little things and how long he trots along for. I just want everything to be relaxed and happy. So that's me hopping off. I just wanted to swing my leg around, make sure he was, quiet with that before I actually got off. And a big pat for Kai, man. So here is the day after. Kai only gets worked twice every week, and sometimes even once a week. So he doesn't do much. I had lunged him before this, but I didn't feel the need to film it because it was exactly the same as what I did prior. Same with all the groundwork stuff. Me eyeballing Jep as she carries on. She was in the paddock next, over from him. Oh, there, sorry. He tried to bite me. As you would have seen, he reached around to my leg and tried to bite my leg, so I turned him in a circle. But yeah, Jep's about 50, 100 meters away. She can see Kai easily, but she's just carrying on, and he could not care less. The differences between my horses is ridiculous. So same thing, I don't want to make him do too much. Not worried about anything other than him being relaxed and moving off my leg. So I want him to be forward. It's something that I want in a horse at a very, very young age, and it's something he struggles with. So and then I ask for a trot. It was a bit delayed. He trips. But yes, forwardness is the basic thing I want in him from day one, is him to be moving forward and relaxed. The two things I really care about. So that was it for the trotting. Now I'm just doing more circles. I'm just turning. And when I'm turning him, I'm getting him to move off my leg. As you can see here, I start to incorporate a little bit of leg yielding. So he is better one way than the other way. Like most horses are, he works better off yielding away from my right leg rather than my left. So he does this really, really well for, his education. He can be a bit dull to the left leg, but I'm just, scratching him with my heel, not kicking him or anything, just, rubbing it against him, and he did it, so I gave him a little pat. And here I ask for him to halt, me checking if it's square, because I'm not worried if it is square, but I do, try to get that enforced into him while he's a young age. And now I ask him to back up, which is something he learnt with the breakers. He is quite tense at doing it. Apparently when he started doing it, he was very awkward. He just didn't quite understand how to do it. So to finish this ride off, I was riding him around on a loose rein because I know him and I know that he would be, he's good at doing this. I had done it with him before. And I am also incorporating him yielding off my leg. So this way I am using neck reining and leg yielding, which both work really, really well together. This is a thing I also taught Jep when I first got her. She didn't know how to neck rein, so it's one of the first things I taught her. And the best way to teach a horse how to neck rein is to do, obviously, your leg yielding with your neck reining, because they can work perfectly together. So I got off him because I was happy and ended on that good note. So big pats for a good boy. And now he's just trying to get attention from Dad. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!